Funny, isn't it, that you can't feel the blanket, that, until I said it, you'd forgotten it was even there, resting its whole soft weight on you in the dark. But now that I've said it, there it is. The blanket. You can feel it again, can't you? The way it lies along the length of you, that gentle heaviness over your chest, your legs, the tops of your feet. It was doing that the whole time. The whole time you've been lying here, it has been pressing down, soft and warm and patient, and somewhere along the way you simply stopped noticing. You stopped feeling it at all, and it never went anywhere. It was only your noticing that drifted off, quietly, without telling you it was leaving. It's a strange little thing to catch the mind doing. Because if I'd asked you a minute ago, were you feeling your blanket? You might have said yes, of course, naturally. But you wouldn't have been. Not really. Not in the way you are now, with the warmth of it suddenly there again on your skin, the weight of it suddenly real. A moment ago, there was nothing. A moment ago, that whole soft presence had gone silent in you, smoothed away, folded so neatly into the background that it had stopped being anything at all. And here's the gentle part. It was never hidden from you. The blanket wasn't hiding. Your skin was feeling it the entire time. Every inch of you that the blanket touched was sending up its small, steady message. Here is warmth. Here is weight. Here is something soft lying over you, sending it up faithfully, the way it always does, never once stopping. The message kept arriving. It arrived 1,000 times a second, all evening long. It is arriving right now. It's only that, somewhere between your skin and the part of you that listens, the message stopped being passed along. The signal kept coming. The hearing of it went quiet. Lie here a moment longer and you can feel how true that is. The blanket's weight, yes. And now, if you let your attention drift down through it, the bed underneath you, the mattress holding you up, that broad, steady firmness along your back, under your shoulders, beneath your hips, your heels. It's been there this whole time too, of course, holding all of you. You've been resting your entire weight on it for as long as you've been lying down, and the bed has been pressing back up against you, evenly, patiently, with exactly as much steadiness as you set down into it. And you weren't feeling that either, were you? Not until just now. There's the pillow too, cradling your head. That cool give of it, the way it takes the weight of your head so you don't have to hold it up yourself. And you haven't been. Your head has simply been lying there, given over, heavy and held. Feel it now. And feel how, until this breath, you'd let that go quiet as well. And maybe there's a collar at your neck. The soft edge of a shirt, the band of it resting along your throat, against your shoulders. Or a sleeve along your arm, or the hem of something at your ankle. All of it touching you, all of it there. All of it sending up the same faithful small report, here, 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 and all of it gone soft and silent in you until I named it, one piece at a time, and handed each one quietly back. It's almost funny how quickly they fade again, too. You can feel the blanket sharp and clear right now because we're speaking of it. But let the talk wander off, and within a breath or two it will dissolve once more. It will sink back down beneath your noticing, back into the warm gray hush of all the things that are simply, steadily, always there. And you won't feel it leave. That's the curious thing. You never feel the noticing go. It's only ever afterward, looking back, that you find it gone. So what is that? What is happening in that soft little disappearing? Nothing left or moved or changed. The blanket stayed. The bed stayed. Your skin kept faithfully feeling all of it. The only thing that changed was that you stopped being told. And you stopped being told, it seems, for the gentlest of reasons, because nothing about any of it was changing. The blanket weighed the same. The bed pushed back the same. The collar rested in the same place it had rested a minute before, and a minute before that. And something in you, something quiet and tireless and kind, looked at all that sameness and decided, softly, that you didn't need to hear about it anymore. Because that's what it seems to keep, that quiet something. The change, the new thing, the difference. When the blanket first settled over you, oh, you felt it then, that first cool drape of it, the weight arriving, the warmth gathering. That was a change, and so you felt it fully. But once it had settled, once it became simply the way things were, the feeling of it had done its work, and the mind let it ease away. It keeps what's new. It lets the steady fade. As if it were saying, so softly you never hear it, you already know about the blanket, love. You can rest now. I'll tell you if something changes. There's something almost tender in that, when you turn it over slowly in the dark. This thing in you that is endlessly, quietly editing, keeping only what moves, what shifts, what differs, and gently setting down everything that stays the same. Smoothing the constant away. Hushing the unchanging so you don't have to carry it. The whole steady weight of the world, lifted off your attention as fast as it arrives, just so there's room to notice the one small thing that might be new. And you can't help but begin to wonder, lying here, how much else this is happening too. Right now, all around you, beneath your noticing. Because if the blanket could be there the whole time, fully present, fully felt by your skin, and yet gone from your awareness so completely that you'd honestly forgotten it, then what else? What else is here that you've stopped being told about? How many steady things are touching you, holding you, surrounding you this very moment, sending up their faithful little signals into a silence you mistake for absence? The room is full of them. Your body is full of them. The whole quiet evening is full of constant, unremarkable, unchanging things that have all gone gently dark in you, one by one, simply because they didn't change. It's a soft thought, isn't it? Not a worrying one. There's nothing to do about it, nothing to fix, nothing missing. The blanket is still warm whether you feel it or not. The bed still holds you whether you notice or not. Nothing is lost in the forgetting. The world stays exactly as it was, faithful, steady, present. It's only that you've been spared the weight of feeling all of it at once. You've been let off, quietly, from having to hold the whole roar of everything that stays the same. And maybe that's the loveliest place to begin, here at the edge of sleep. With this small discovery that so much of what holds you, you cannot feel, and that this is not a lack but a mercy. That something in you is always letting the steady things go quiet, so gently you never catch it happening. The blanket, the bed, the pillow, the collar, all here, all faded, all forgiven their constancy and set down softly into the dark. You don't even have to keep track of which is which. You don't have to hold the list. Let them blur back together if they like, the warmth, the weight, the holding, the soft press of cloth. Let them sink again beneath your noticing, all of them, the way they want to. There's no need to feel them. There never was. They'll go on being there regardless, faithful in the dark, asking nothing of you. It makes the body feel a little quieter, doesn't it? Even to think of it. A little lighter. As though naming all the steady weight and then letting it fade again on purpose were a way of setting it down twice. The blanket grows soft and far. The bed grows soft and far. Your own outline grows a little less sharp, a little less insisted upon, sinking back into the warm gray hush where the steady things live. And once you notice it about the blanket, you start to wonder where else this quiet forgetting is happening. Beginning, perhaps, with your own skin. Your own skin. Of all the steady things, that's the strangest place to find this happening, because your skin is touching something everywhere, all at once, all the time, and you feel almost none of it. Think back to the moment you pulled on whatever you're wearing now, the shirt going over your head and down your arms. There was a feeling then, wasn't there? That first brush of the cloth settling onto your shoulders, sliding down your back, the cool or the warmth of it arriving all at once across your skin. For just a moment, your whole upper body knew the shirt completely, the texture of it, the weight, every place it touched. You felt it the way you felt the blanket when I named it. Fully, sharply. The cloth had just arrived, and arriving is a kind of change. And so you were told all about it. And then, within a minute, maybe two, it was gone. Not the shirt, the feeling of the shirt. You crossed the room, or you sat down, or you simply went on with your evening, and somewhere in there, the sense of the cloth on your skin quietly dissolved. By the time you'd done up a button or reached for something on a shelf, your shoulders had forgotten they were covered at all. The shirt stayed. It's still there now, lying against you, touching you in 100 places. But the feeling of it, left almost as soon as it came, slipped away beneath your noticing. The same soft, disappearing as the blanket. Only quicker, gentler, so ordinary you have never once in your life thought to be surprised by it. It's worth lying here a moment and feeling how completely true that is. Until this breath, you weren't feeling your clothes. Any of them. The whole soft architecture of cloth resting on your body, the sleeves along your arms, the front of your shirt against your chest, the back of it against your spine, all of it present, all of it touching, and all of it silent in you. Your skin was feeling every thread of it, faithfully, the whole time. It's only that the feeling wasn't being passed along, the same way the blanket wasn't, for the same quiet reason. Nothing about the cloth was changing, so the noticing of it was let go. Because that seems to be how the skin works when you turn it over slowly. It answers change brightly. Oh, it answers change so brightly. The first cold drop of water, the first warmth of sun, the first touch of a hand, the instant something arrives or shifts or moves across you, your skin lights up with it and tells you everything vivid and immediate and clear. That's what it's for, really. That's the whole gift of it, to catch the new thing, the changing thing, the thing that just happened. And then, just as faithfully, once the new thing has settled into a steady thing, once the water has reached the same coolness all over, and the sun has become simply the warmth that's there and the hand has rested into stillness, the skin grows quiet. The nerves settle. They stop sending up their report, not because they've stopped feeling, but because there's nothing new to say. The pressure is the same as it was a moment ago. The warmth is the same. And so it eases away, down beneath your attention, into that warm gray hush where all the steady things are kept. So really your whole skin is doing, all over your body, the very thing the blanket was doing. Lighting up at the change, and then softly going silent at the sameness. Over and over, everywhere, all day, so quietly you have never noticed it happening even once. And you could spend a long, slow, while just finding the places where it's true. There's a soft pleasure in it, almost going looking, in the dark, for the steady touches you'd forgotten. A ring, perhaps, if you wear one. It's there right now, circling your finger, a small, steady band of pressure that has been there so long and so unchangingly that it has become nothing at all. And yet the instant you think of it, there it is, that gentle ring of contact you weren't feeling a breath ago. It never loosened. It never left. Your finger has felt it every second of every day. You simply stopped being told. The ring became part of the steady world, too constant to mention. And so it faded the way the blanket faded, into a silence you mistook for absence. A watch or a band at your wrist, the same. There the whole time, that light encircling weight, gone from your awareness so completely that it takes you naming it to feel it again. And a sock, down at the far end of you, gathered around your ankle, holding gently to your foot, feel how it was simply not there, until this sentence reached down and handed it back. The waistband of whatever you're wearing, resting along your middle, a steady soft pressure all the way around that you have not felt for hours and are feeling faintly now. The collar again, the cuff, the seam where the cloth folds against the bend of your arm. One by one, if you go looking, they come back. All these small, steady touches, all present, all faithful, all of them having gone quietly dark in you for the same gentle reason. None of them was changing, and so none of them was kept. Your skin felt every one the entire time and told you about not a single one, and you went about your whole evening wrapped in touches you couldn't feel, held by a dozen small pressures you'd forgotten you were wearing. And it isn't only the things you wear. Lie still and let the wondering drift wider, and you'll find the same quiet at every place your body meets the world. The bed again, yes, that broad, steady press along your back that we found before, already fading once more even though we only just named it. But think, too, of all the times in a day this happens and goes by without a thought. The floor against your feet when you stand, that firm, steady pushing up that holds your whole weight and that you feel for half a second and then never again. Not until it changes, not until the ground turns soft or uneven beneath you. The chair you sat in earlier, pressing up under you all the while you sat, felt sharply the moment you sat down and then gone, dissolved, until the moment you rose. A whole day of steady touches, each one bright for an instant, and then softly released. It's the same shape every time, isn't it? The contact arrives and you feel it. The contact steadies and you stop. The skin keeps faithfully feeling, the noticing quietly drifts away. Change, and then the gentle hush. Change, and then the hush again. All day long, all over you, the same soft editing, keeping the new touch, letting the steady touch go, smoothing the constant pressure away as fast as it arrives, so there's room to feel the one thing that might be different. And lying here now, you can feel how much of that hush is wrapped around you in this very moment. Try, softly, to feel your whole skin at once, every place it's touching something. The cloth all over, the bed beneath, the air itself resting on whatever's bare, that faint, steady coolness or warmth you never feel because it never stops. It's almost too much to hold, isn't it, the thought of feeling all of it together, and you don't, you can't, you never have. Most of your skin right now, this instant, is feeling something and telling you nothing. Acres of you, touched and quiet. The whole surface of you, wrapped in steady contact, gone soft and silent and unfelt, every faithful nerve of it settled down into that warm gray hush. And there's that same mercy in it again, the one we found with the blanket. Because imagine if it were otherwise. Imagine if every touch stayed loud, the shirt forever as sharp as the moment you put it on, the ring forever pressing, the waistband forever announcing itself, the bed and the air and the cloth all calling out at full voice, all at once, all the time. You'd never have a quiet moment in your skin at all. You'd be buried under the steady roar of simply being clothed, being held, being touched by the ordinary world. And so the skin doesn't do that. It feels the change, gives you the news of it, and then, kindly, lets it go. It hands you the new and spares you the rest. It keeps the surface of you mostly silent so that the one touch that matters, a hand, a warmth, a thing gone suddenly wrong or suddenly sweet, can still reach you through the quiet. So you can let it. That's the soft thing here in the dark. You can let your skin go on doing exactly what it's always done, feeling everything, telling you almost nothing, releasing each steady touch as fast as it settles. You don't have to feel your clothes. You don't have to hold the ring, the sock, the seam, the press of the bed. Let them all sink back down where they were a few minutes ago, before I named them, into the warm and faithful silence. They'll go on touching you regardless, asking nothing, steady in the dark. The forgetting was never a loss. It was only your skin being kind. And feel how that softens you, even a little, to know that the quiet you live inside your own body is not numbness, but mercy. That you are touched, everywhere, always, by more than you could ever bear to feel. And that something gentle in you lets nearly all of it go quiet so you can rest. The blanket faded. The clothes faded. The ring, the sock, the floor, the chair, the bed, the air, all faded, all softly released, all set down into the hush. The touch goes quiet first. It's the closest thing, the thing right against you, and so perhaps it's the first to drift off into silence. But once you've felt it happen to the touch, once you've caught the skin doing its soft, faithful forgetting, you begin to notice the edges of the room doing it too. Not against your body now, but out there, a little further off, in the air itself. Because the touch goes quiet. And then, if you let your attention drift outward, out past your skin, and into the soft dark of the room around you, you start to hear the sounds doing the very same thing. Listen for a moment to the small, steady sounds you'd stopped hearing. Not the big ones, not anything that would startle you, just the low, constant murmur the room is making, underneath everything, all the time. Because there is one. There almost always is. A room is rarely as silent as it seems. It only seems silent because you've stopped being told. So listen. Reach out into the dark with your hearing, gently, the way we reached down into the blanket. Is there a hum somewhere? There often is the soft, low drone of a refrigerator in another room, the breath of a fan, the faint electric hush of the house itself just being a house. A pipe ticking somewhere as it cools. The far-off wash of traffic, a car passing streets away, that long, soft sound like a wave that rises and falls and is gone. The wind against a window. Some small, steady sound is almost certainly there, right now, if you go looking for it. And here is the strange and gentle thing. The moment you go looking, there it is. As though it had been waiting. As though it had been sounding the whole time, patiently, into a silence you only thought was silence. Because it had. That's the soft truth of it. Whatever you're hearing now that you weren't hearing a moment ago, it didn't just begin. It didn't switch on the instant you reached for it. The fridge was humming before I said the word. The fan was turning. The traffic was washing softly by, street after street, all evening long. The sound was arriving at your ear the entire time, faithfully, wave after wave of it, never once stopping. Your ear was catching every bit of it. It's only that, somewhere between your ear and the part of you that listens, the same quiet thing happened that happened with the blanket, that happened with your skin. The sound kept coming. The hearing of it went soft. The steady murmur arrived and arrived and arrived, and your mind, somewhere along the way, decided you didn't need to be told about it anymore. For the very same reason, too. Nothing about it was changing. A hum is the steadiest thing in the world. That's almost what a hum is. A sound that holds the same note, the same low, even tone, on and on without change, without ever once doing anything new. And so the mind treats it exactly the way it treats the weight of the blanket, the press of the bed, the ring on your finger. It hears it fully when it begins. You might remember walking into a quiet room and noticing the fridge, just for a second. And then, once it has become simply the way the room sounds, Once it has settled into the steady background of things, the mind lets it ease away. It keeps what changes. It hushes the constant. The note goes on sounding, and the noticing of it drifts off, down into that same warm gray hush where the steady touches went. And so you live, most of the time, in a room you are not fully hearing, surrounded by small, steady sounds that arrive and are never passed along. The hum is there and not there. The fan is there and not there. They're present the instant you reach for them, and gone again the instant you don't, flickering in and out, not because they come and go, but because your noticing does. They never move. Only your attention moves, drifting toward them and away. And wherever it lands, the sound blooms up clear and true. And wherever it leaves, the sound sinks back down into that soft gray quiet, still sounding, still faithful, simply no longer told. There's the tick of a clock, if there's a clock. And the clock is the loveliest example of all, isn't it? Because you can feel it happen. Listen for the clock and you'll hear it. Tick, 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 even and patient, marking off the seconds in the dark. And then let your thoughts wander off somewhere, just for a little while, and when you come back, you'll find it had vanished. Completely. You weren't hearing the clock at all, and yet it never stopped. It ticked through every second of your wandering, the same as ever, and your ear caught every tick, and not one of them was passed along to you. It went silent in your hearing while it went right on sounding in the room. And the moment you reached for it again, there it was, tick, tick, as though it had never left. As though it had been ticking just for you the whole time, quietly, in a room you'd stopped listening to. You could lose a long, soft while in that, here in the dark, listening to a sound and feeling it go quiet and reaching for it and feeling it return. The hum, the tick, the far hush of the road, each one there when you hold it and gone when you let it go. Like little lights that only shine while you're looking, except they're not. That's the gentle part. They're shining all along, every one of them, and the looking is the only thing that flickers. And then there is the strangest small gift of all. The thing that gives the whole quiet trick away. You know it, even if you've never thought to notice it, that odd little moment when the fridge stops. When the hum that you weren't hearing, the hum you'd long since let fade down into nothing, suddenly switches off, and in the very instant it stops, you hear it. You hear the silence where it used to be. The room seems to settle. Something you didn't know was there lifts away, and a deeper quiet rushes softly in to fill the space. And only then, only by its leaving, do you learn that the sound had been there all along. Isn't that a tender, curious thing? That you can be told a sound only by its ending? That the hum sang to you for hours and you never heard a note of it, and then it fell silent, and the silence was the first thing you heard. You noticed the quiet, not the noise. You noticed the absence, never the presence, as though the steady sound were written in a kind of ink you can only read once it's gone. The fridge gives you, at the very end, the one thing it could never give you while it ran, the knowledge that it was running. A small parting gift. Here, it seems to say, as it goes quiet, here is the sound you never knew you were hearing. I'll leave it with you, now that it's over. And if a single hum could do that, could be there, fully, the whole evening long, and never once be told, and only show itself in the shape of its own leaving, then think how much else is sounding in this room, unheard. The murmur of the house, the settling of the walls, the wind, the road, the breath of the air moving. The room is never truly silent. It only feels silent, the way your skin felt bare, the way the blanket felt absent, because the silence you're resting in isn't really silence at all. It's just everything steady, gone quiet in you. It's a room full of soft, faithful sound, every bit of it arriving, none of it being passed along. You aren't sitting in stillness. You're sitting in a hush that your own mind is gently making, keeping the whole low murmur of the world just under the surface of your hearing, so that you can rest inside it as though it weren't there. And there's that same mercy again, the one we keep finding. Because imagine if it were otherwise. Imagine if every steady sound stayed loud, the fridge forever as plain as the moment it switched on, the fan forever droning, the clock forever ticking at full voice, the traffic forever washing in, all of it sounding always, all at once, never fading, never hushed. You'd never have a quiet moment in your whole life. You'd be buried under the steady roar of an ordinary room. And so the mind doesn't let that happen. It hears the new sound, gives you the news of it, and then kindly lets the steady ones go. It keeps your hearing mostly quiet so that the one sound that matters, a voice, a footstep, a thing gone suddenly different in the night, can still reach you through the soft gray hush. The quiet you live in isn't emptiness. It's mercy again, the same mercy, wearing the shape of sound this time. So you can let it. The same soft permission as before. You don't have to hold the hum or chase the tick or keep your hearing reaching out into the dark. Let the sounds you found sink back down where they were, the fridge, the fan, the clock, the far wash of the road. Let them all go quiet in you again, the way they want to, the way they always do. They'll go on sounding regardless, faithful and low, asking nothing of you, filling the room with a murmur you don't have to hear. The forgetting was never a loss. It was only your hearing being kind. And it feels good, doesn't it, to let them go, to stop listening, to let the whole soft murmur of the room blur back together and sink beneath you, until even the quiet you're lying in goes quiet, even the listening eases off, and there's a little less now for the mind to hold. The body had gone soft and silent first, the touch of everything fading from your skin. And now the room is doing it too, the sounds of it dimming down one by one, the hum and the tick, and the road all drifting off into the same warm gray hush, until you can hardly tell anymore where the silence ends and your own quiet begins. Sound fades the way touch faded. The steady note, kept faithfully arriving, kept softly unheard, let go for the very same gentle reason, smoothed away the very same gentle way. And lying here in the dimming and the hush, you begin to wonder slowly, almost without trying, whether it stops at touch and sound, whether there are other steady things, even softer ones, even closer in, going quietly unfelt in you this very moment. The things you breathe in without ever noticing. The air itself, and whatever the air is carrying, they're the whole time drawn in and let out, drawn in and let out, and never once remarked upon. And you start to think it must be happening there too. There's a smell to every home that the people who live in it can't smell at all. Only the visitor catches it, the friend at the door, the stranger stepping in from the cold. They breathe it in the moment they cross the threshold, that whole particular scent of a place. And to them, it's vivid, immediate, unmistakably yours. And you, who live there, who are standing right beside them in the very same air, you smell nothing. Nothing at all. You drifted past your own a long time ago. It's the gentlest thing to notice, lying here in the dark, that the air you're breathing now has a smell you cannot find. Try, if you like. Reach out into it the way we reached for the hum, the way we reached down into the weight of the blanket. Go looking softly for the smell of the room you're in. And most likely you'll find almost nothing there. A faint something maybe, if you breathe in slow, but not the full scent of the place, not the thing the visitor would catch in an instant. That's gone to you. It's been gone for so long you've forgotten it was ever there to lose. And yet it never left. That's the soft truth of it again, the same truth we keep finding, wearing a new and quieter shape. The smell of your home is in the air this very moment, the way it always is, woven through every room, settled into the cloth and the walls and the warmth of the place, rising up faithfully into every breath you take. Your nose is breathing it in right now. Every time your chest rises, the scent comes in with the air, the whole steady signal of it arriving, the same as ever, never once stopping. The message keeps coming. It came all evening. It's coming now. It's only that, somewhere between your breath and the part of you that notices, the very same quiet thing happened that happened to the blanket, to your skin, to the hum of the room. The scent kept arriving. The smelling of it went soft, and then it went silent altogether. For the same gentle reason, too, of course, because nothing about it was changing. The smell of your home is the steadiest scent in your whole life, there before you wake, there as you move through your rooms, there when you lie down at night. The same low, constant note of a smell, on, never doing anything new. And so the mind treats it exactly the way it treated the weight on your chest and the murmur in the walls. It smelled it once, fully. You might even remember it, faintly, the way a place can smell when you've been away and come home to it. And then, once it had become simply the way your home smells, simply the air you live inside, the noticing of it eased away. It keeps what changes. It lets the steady fade. The scent goes on filling the air, and the smelling of it drifts off, down into that same warm gray hush where the steady weight went, and the steady touch, and the steady sound. There's something almost touching in the visitor when you think of it slowly. That someone can walk into your home and know it in a way you never can. They get the one thing you'll never have, the smell of your own life from the outside, the scent of all your ordinary days gathered into the air of your rooms. To them, it's a whole impression, instant and complete. To you, it's nothing, a blank, a silence. You live at the very center of that scent, breathing it deeper than anyone, and you are the one person on earth who cannot smell it. Not because your nose has failed, because it has succeeded, because it has done the kind thing, the steady thing, hushing thing, and set the constant gently down so you don't have to carry it. And it isn't only the home, of course, once you start to wander out into it. It's everything that holds still long enough to be breathed. Your own rooms, each with its own quiet scent you've long since stopped finding. A coat you've worn 100 times, carrying its own soft smell that everyone notices but you. The particular scent of a kitchen, a bookshelf, a drawer of clothes, a car, all of them there, all of them faithful, all of them gone quiet in you simply because you've met them too many times. Too constant to be smelled. That's the whole of it. The mind hushes whatever stays, and these things stayed, and so they faded, one steady scent at a time, into that soft gray quiet where the unchanging lives. And this is the tenderest part, I think, the part to hold gently here in the dark. Your own self is in there too. You have a scent. Everyone does. The warm, familiar smell of your own skin, your own hair, the whole quiet nearness of being you, it's there. It's always there, closer to you than anything else in the world. And you cannot smell it. You never have. It's the one scent you carry every second of your life, and the one you will never once catch, because there has never been a single moment of change against which to notice it. It's been steady since before you can remember. And so it went quiet in you before you were old enough to wonder, and it has stayed quiet ever since, too close, too constant, too much yourself to be smelled at all. You are wrapped in your own warm presence, and you cannot feel its scent, the way you cannot feel the blanket, the way you cannot hear the hum. The most familiar thing of all, gone softest of any. only a change ever hands any of it back. That's the only way it returns, not by reaching for it. The way sound returned when you listened, but by something shifting, something new arriving against the steady. A window opened in the morning, and for a single breath the room smells different, and in that difference you catch, just for a moment, the edge of what was there all along. Or you go out into the cold, the rain, the open air, and you stay out a while, long enough for the slate to clear, and then you come home. And as you step back through your own door, there it is, for one breath. 2. The whole scent of your home handed back to you, vivid and complete, the way the visitor always has it, and then, almost at once, it's gone again. Folded back into the steady. Smoothed away as fast as it came, because the moment you're inside, it stops changing. And the moment it stops changing, the mind lets it go. You get it for a breath. A change is a gift of one breath, and then the kind quiet closes softly over it once more. It makes you feel, lying here, how much you must be surrounded by that you'll never notice. Not because it's hidden, because it's too familiar. The whole air of your life, thick with a scent you can't find, the room's full of it, your coat full of it, your own skin full of it, all of it arriving faithfully in every breath, and none of it passed along. You move through a world that is constantly, quietly fragrant, and you live in it as though it were odorless. The way you sat in the soft murmur of the room as though it were silent. The way you lay under the weight of the blanket as though you were uncovered. Surrounded, always, by what is simply too close and too constant to be told. And there's the same mercy in it, isn't there? The same one we keep finding, wearing the shape of scent this time. Because imagine if it stayed. Imagine if every smell held its first sharpness forever, your home as vivid as the day you moved in, your coat, your rooms, your own warm self all calling out at full strength, always, with every breath, never fading, never hushed. You'd be lost in it. You'd never breathe a clear breath in your life. And so the mind doesn't let that happen. It catches the new scent, the changed one, the one that might mean something, the smoke, the rain, the bloom, the stranger. And once that scent has settled into the steady, it lets it gently go. It keeps your breathing mostly clear, mostly quiet, so that the one smell that matters can still reach you through the soft gray hush of all the rest. The blankness you breathe in isn't emptiness. It's the same mercy again. Kindness wearing the shape of air. So you can let it. The same soft permission as before. You don't have to smell your home or find the scent of your own rooms or reach for the warm nearness of yourself in the dark. Let the air be as blank and as easy as it has always been. Let whatever scent is here stay quiet, the way it wants to, the way it always does. It will go on filling the room regardless, faithful and soft and unremarked, asking nothing of you. The forgetting was never a loss. It was only your breathing being kind. And it eases something, doesn't it, to let even this go, to stop reaching out into the air, to let the last of the noticing settle, until even the wondering grows still. And there's less again, a little less, for the mind to hold. The body went quiet first, the touch of everything fading from your skin. Then the room went quiet, the sounds of it dimming down. And now the air itself has gone quiet too, the scent of your whole life dissolving softly into the same warm gray hush, until you can hardly tell anymore where the world ends and your own stillness begins. One sense after another, gently set down. One steady thing after another, smoothed away. Touch and then sound, and then scent, all of it quietly let go, all of it released for the same soft reason, in the same soft way. And lying here in all that gathering quiet, you begin to wonder slowly, almost without trying, how much of you has gone the very same way. not just the world around you, hushed and faithful in the dark, but you, your own self fading at its edges, going quiet to itself the way everything steady does. You begin to wonder how much of your own being has slipped, this same gentle way, beneath your own noticing, and gone soft, and gone still, and gone unfelt. You don't see your own nose, though it sits there at the edge of everything you look at, and the mind keeps it quietly out of the way it keeps so much else. It's there right now. It's always there. Whatever you turn your eyes toward, in the light or in the dark, your own nose is hanging softly at the bottom of the view, a little pale blur at the edge of every glance you've ever taken. You've been looking past it your whole life. Every face you've ever seen, every room, every sky, all of it framed, down at the corner, by the steady nearness of your own nose, and you have simply never seen it. Not because it's hidden, because it never moves. It is the one thing in your sight that is always in your sight, and so the mind, gently, has painted it out, smoothed it away, lifted it off your seeing the way it lifted the blanket off your skin and the hum out of the room for the very same soft reason. It never changes, and what never changes carries no news. And it isn't only the nose. Lie here a moment longer in the dark, and you can feel how many of these there are, the constant things that live so close they've gone invisible. The steady signals from your own self that you stopped being told about so long ago, you never even learned they were there. Your tongue, for one. It's resting in your mouth right now, this very moment, soft and warm and heavy, taking up its quiet room behind your teeth. It's been there all your life, and you cannot feel it, not until I say so, not until the word reaches in and hands it back. And then, yes, there it is, that mild, familiar presence you weren't feeling a breath ago. It never went anywhere. It rests there always, faithfully, doing its small, steady nothing in the dark of your mouth. And the feeling of it went quiet in you years and years ago, smoothed down beneath your noticing, because it was always, only, exactly the same. Too constant to mention, too close to be told. And the strangest one of all, perhaps, the one you'd never think to catch, is the dark. The small, soft darkness that falls 1,000 times a day and that you have never once seen fall. Every time you blink, each blink draws the curtain for an instant, the whole world gone briefly black, the light snuffed and returned so quickly, and so often that you live inside a faint, constant flicker of darkness, and you have no idea it's there. The world goes out and comes back and goes out and comes back all day long, and you would swear to anyone that you've been looking at one smooth, unbroken day. Because the mind, kind again, sews the dark away. It hides the blink from you. It keeps the seeing seamless and lets the little darknesses fall in silence, unfelt, unwitnessed. 1,000 small nightfalls a day that you sleep through with your eyes wide open. It's a soft and curious list when you lay it all out slowly in the quiet. The nose you never see, the tongue you never feel, the dark you never notice. And behind those, all the others, the warmth of your own body that you stopped feeling before you could speak, the steady press of the air, the soft sound of your own breathing, going in and out, that you only ever hear when you reach for it. All of it constant. And so all of it gently, quietly, set aside. And here, drifting, you start to feel the one thread that runs through every bit of it, the blanket and the bed, the shirt and the ring, the hum and the tick, the scent of your home, the nose, the tongue, the blink. It's all the same thing, isn't it? The same quiet hand doing the same quiet work, over and over, everywhere, all at once. Keeping what changes, letting the steady fade. The whole faithful weight of the unchanging world, lifted off your attention as fast as it arrives. And the reason, the reason is the tenderest part of the whole soft business when you finally turn it over here in the dark. Because it would be easy to think it a kind of failing. A thing the mind gets wrong, all this forgetting, all this not feeling. But it isn't. It's a mercy. It's the kindest thing the mind ever does for you, and it does it without ever once asking, every moment of your life. Think of how small the room is inside. How little space there is for noticing. You can only hold so much at once. Only a little, really. A small, bright handful of the world at any given moment. And the world is endless. Every second, the steady things pour in by the thousand. Every touch on every inch of skin. Every sound in every corner of the room. Every scent in the air. The nose and the tongue and the warmth and the weight and the breath. All of it arriving, all of it faithful, all of it forever the same. And none of it new. None of it news. The blanket weighs what it weighed a moment ago. The hum holds the note it has always held. There is nothing in any of it to learn, nothing to do, nothing that could ever matter, because it is all exactly as it was. And so the mind, with only its small, bright handful of room, makes the gentlest possible choice. It sets the steady things down. It keeps only what's new. Because imagine, just for a soft moment, and then we'll let it go. Imagine if it didn't. Imagine if every steady thing stayed loud at once. The full weight of the blanket and the full press of the bed and every thread of every garment, all at their first sharpness, never fading. And under that, every sound the room has ever made, the hum and the fan and the clock and the far wash of the road, all sounding always at full voice. And the whole scent of your home, vivid as the first day, with every breath. And your nose plain in your sight, and your tongue heavy in your mouth, and the dark crashing down with every blink, all of it. Every steady thing you own, calling out together, all the time forever, none of it ever once allowed to go quiet. It would be a roar. Not a sound, but a roar of everything, a single unbroken wall of the unchanging, so vast and so constant that there would be no room left in you for anything else, no room to think, no room to rest, no room to catch the one small thing that might be new. You'd drown in it. You'd drown in the sheer, steady weight of an ordinary, motionless world. And so you don't. Something in you, endlessly, tirelessly, quietly kind, reaches out and hushes nearly all of it, not because it doesn't matter, but precisely so that what matters can still reach you through the quiet. It hushes the roar. It keeps the silence. It hands you only the new thing, the moving thing, the thing that just changed, and lets all the rest go soft and go still and go unfelt, so that you can bear to be alive in a world this full. And so here is the strange, soft truth you come to, lying in all this gathering quiet, that you don't really live in the world at all. Not in the world as it is. You live in its changes. You are a creature tuned, from the very start, only to the new, to the touch arriving, the sound beginning, the scent that just shifted, the light that just moved. That's the whole of what reaches you. The differences. The edges where one moment turns into the next. And everything else, everything steady, everything that simply, faithfully stays, falls away beneath you into a vast and patient silence. A silence made of all the things you've quietly chosen not to feel. You move through your days on a thin, bright surface of change, and beneath you, holding you up, stretches the whole still weight of the unchanging world. Hushed, faithful, present, and never once told. It's an enormous quiet when you finally feel the size of it. Not an emptiness, the opposite of empty. A fullness so complete it had to be hushed. Everything is there. Everything has always been there. The blanket and the bed and the air and your own warm self, all of it arriving, all of it faithful, all of it set gently down into that soft gray hush so that you could rest. You are surrounded, this very moment, by more than you could ever hold, and held, this very moment, by a kindness that lets nearly all of it go quiet, just so you can lie here, easy, in the dark. And maybe that's the gentlest thing of all to feel as the thoughts grow slow. That the quiet you live inside is not a lack. It was never a lack. It's the most patient mercy there is, a mind with only so much room, choosing always to keep the silence soft for you. Letting the steady things go, smoothing the constant away, asking nothing of you but that you notice the new and rest from all the rest. And here, lying still in the dark, you begin to feel the soft turn at the heart of it, that this very quieting is happening to you now. And now there is so little left to notice. The weight gone soft, the dark gone steady, the breath moving on its own without you. That's the soft turn, isn't it? The one we kept circling toward. All this while we've been speaking of the steady things fading, the blanket, the hum, the scent, the nose, the tongue, the dark behind each blink, fading the way they always do in everyone all the time. And the whole while it has been happening here. To you, to the very mind that's been listening. The quieting we kept describing is the quieting you've been doing. You've been falling gently into the thing we were only talking about. Feel how little there is now for the mind to hold. You're lying perfectly still. And stillness to a mind built only for change is almost nothing at all. There is no new touch arriving, no sound beginning, no light that just moved. The blanket weighs what it weighed an hour ago. The room sounds the way it has sounded all night. Nothing is shifting, nothing is starting, nothing is asking to be caught, and so the mind, which only ever wakes for the new, finds less and less it needs to do. Less to report. Less to pass along. The bright little handful of noticing, with nothing new to fill it, begins, softly, to empty. And as it empties, the steady things let go of you one by one, just as they always have. Only now you can feel it happening, slow enough to follow, and even the following is going quiet. The blanket first, perhaps. That weight we found at the very beginning, resting along the whole length of you. Feel how it's already going soft again, already sinking back under your noticing, the way it wants to, the way it always does. You don't have to keep it. Let it go. Let the warmth blur, let the weight grow far. There, it's fading. And you don't feel it leave, you never do. You only know somewhere that it's nearly gone. Then the bed, that broad, steady holding along your back, it's still there. It will hold you all night whether you feel it or not, so you don't have to feel it. Let it go quiet too. Let the line between you and the bed grow soft until you can't quite tell where you end and the holding begins. Let it carry you without your help. The room next. The walls, the air, the small faithful sounds we listened for, the hum, the tick, the far wash of the road. Let them dim. They'll go on sounding, low and patient, asking nothing. You don't have to hear them anymore. Let the whole murmur of the room sink down beneath you and blur into one soft gray hush, and then let even the hush go quiet. And your own body, your own outline, your own edges. Feel how those are softening too. The shape of you going a little less sharp, a little less insisted upon. The tongue resting unfelt. The hands gone heavy and far. The face loosening in the dark. All of it steady, all of it unchanging. And so all of it gently set down, the way the mind sets down everything that stays the same. This is the thing to feel, here at the very end, if you feel anything at all. That none of this is a loss. The fading was never a loss. It hasn't been all night, and it isn't now. The blanket isn't gone, it's still warm, still over you, still faithful. The bed hasn't dropped you, it's holding you this very moment. The room is still here, the air still here, your own self still here, breathing, whole, present. Nothing has left. Only the noticing has, the way it always does, softly, for the kindest of reasons. Because there is nothing new to tell, and you can rest. The quieting of the steady things is not the mind failing. It's the mind doing at last, the very thing it was always for. All night it hushed the constant so you could catch the new. And now there is no new. Now there is only the constant, the steady, the unchanging, the still dark room and the still warm weight and the breath going in and out, the same and the same and the same. And so the mind, finding nothing to keep, lets nearly all of it go at once. That letting go has a name. We've been describing it this whole time without quite saying it. The fading of the steady things when it widens far enough, when it takes the room and the body and the noticing too, that is sleep. That's all sleep is. The same soft editing you do every waking minute, finally allowed to finish. Falling asleep is only this, the steady things going quiet all the way down. So you don't have to do anything. That's the gentlest part. You were never the one doing it. The hushing happened on its own, the blanket faded on its own, the hum, the scent, all of it without your help, without your asking. And this last fading is the same. It's already happening. It's happening right now while I speak gently on its own. You don't have to make sleep come. You couldn't anyway, it isn't a thing you do. It's a thing you stop doing. It's what's left when you finally let the steady things go. And you can let them. You can follow them down. Follow the blanket as it fades. Follow the weight, the warmth, the holding, down past the edge of feeling into the soft place where they go. Follow the hum into its silence. Follow your own breath, going in, going out on its own. Without you, you don't have to breathe it, it breathes itself. It always has follow it down and down into the quiet. You don't have to hold any of it, not the blanket, not the bed, not a single steady thing. You don't even have to hold the listening. Let that go too. Let my voice become one more steady sound, one more faithful murmur in the room, and let it fade like all the rest. You don't have to follow the words anymore. You don't have to follow anything. There's nowhere to go and nothing to keep and no new thing coming. Only the steady dark and the steady weight and the breath that moves on its own. It's so quiet now. Feel how quiet. The whole loud world we carried hushed. The roar of all the steady things gone soft. Everything that was ever too constant to feel, set down at last, all together into the dark. And it holds you. The quiet holds you. The same way the bed holds you, the same way the night holds the room without effort, without asking, faithful, patient, soft. There's so little left now. The weight has gone to warmth, and the warmth has gone to nothing. The room has gone to a hush, and the hush has gone still. Your own edges have gone soft and far. Even the thoughts are slowing, spacing out, leaving longer and longer quiets between them, like the last lights going dark in a house at the end of a day. You can let those go too. The thoughts. Let them thin. Let them drift apart and not come back. You don't have to think anything. You don't have to follow even this. The mind is nearly empty now, and an empty mind is only a mind at rest, and rest is all that's left, and rest is good. Let yourself be carried. You don't have to swim. The steady things are sinking, and you can sink with them down, soft, slow, into the warm gray quiet where they all go, where the blanket goes and the hum goes and the breath goes and you go gently with them. There's nothing to do down there, nothing to feel, nothing to keep, only the quiet and the dark and the slow, soft falling. So far down now, so soft. The weight is gone, The room is gone, the voice is going, even the going is going. Let it all fade the way it always fades. There's nothing to hold. There never was. Only the quiet already here, already holding you, already taking it all gently, softly from your open hands, the blanket, the dark, the breath, the last thin thread of noticing, taking it all so kindly that you'll never feel it leave. Let it take everything. Let yourself go down and down into the soft and faithful dark, where the steady things are waiting, quiet and warm and already yours. There, nothing left to hold. Only the quiet, already here, already taking it all gently from you as you let yourself go